Welcome back, everybody, to the deep dive. Today, we're going to get into Spotify.
Yeah,
Everybody and their mom uses Spotify these days, but
for sure.
we found this report, Spotify Statistics 2024, Key Insights and Trends. Really interesting stuff in here about where they're at as a company.
Absolutely. I mean, it's fascinating to look beyond just the music, right? We all use it.
Yeah, right.
But what's the strategy? Where are they going?
What's going on behind the scenes? So
Exactly.
they got huge EE numbers, right? 602 million monthly active users.
It's massive, yeah.
Huge. But then they missed their Q1 user growth projection.
Interesting.
So that's kind of like, what's going on there?
Yeah, and that's where digging into the report gets really interesting. So yeah, user growth dipped a little bit, but revenue, that's a different story. 19% jump. They actually went past $1 billion in gross profit.
Wow.
For the first time, they hit net positive income. Big milestone for them.
Huge. So, okay, profitability, that's good for Spotify, obviously.
Right.
But why should I care? What does this mean for the average listener? Like, does this affect me at all?
That's the key question, right? It's not just about hitting some arbitrary financial target. This profitability, it means Spotify's strategy, their long game, it's starting to work. Gives them room to maneuver, invest in new stuff that maybe could improve the service for us. Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe even better prices at some point. You never know.
Oh, wouldn't that be nice?
Right. But it's about securing their future. And in a way, that's also the future of how we experience audio, right? So it's connected to us, even if we don't see the immediate impact.
Makes sense, yeah. Though getting to that stability hasn't been all smooth sailing, has it? The report actually mentions they had those layoffs this year. 1,500 employees let go. That's a lot of people.
Yeah, definitely not an easy decision. But I think this shows they're serious, right? Getting leaner, more efficient. It's a trend we're seeing across the board, tech especially.
Right, got to adapt.
Exactly, they're playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. Thinking long term, and that's important in such a competitive landscape.
They're not just thinking about the next move, they're thinking 10 moves ahead. That's Spotify for ya. And speaking of being strategic, one thing that jumped out from this report, 32% of Spotify users are listening to podcasts now.
Wow.
That's a big chunk of their user base. It's not just a little side thing anymore.
It's huge, and it shows that their investment in podcasts is really paying off. They've been snatching up exclusive deals, building that library. You can find just about anything on there.
Yeah, I mean, that Joe Rogan deal, that was a big deal a couple years back.
Right. Love it or hate it, everybody was talking about it, and it definitely put them on the map as a major player in the podcasting world.
Oh, for sure.
And it's not just about getting these big names, right? They've got Anchor, which lets anyone make a podcast. It's about the whole ecosystem.
Yeah, they're not just curating, they're giving people the tools to create.
Exactly. And the report actually mentions their podcast ad revenue is growing faster than music ad revenue.
Really?
Yeah, it's a smart move. People are really engaged with podcasts. It's not just background noise, and that makes the ads more effective.
It's a different kind of listening,
Yeah.
right? More focused.
Definitely. You're invested in the conversation, the story.
For sure. And speaking of investing, what about that whole Barcelona deal? That's still a thing, right?
Oh, yeah, that's still going strong. That was a wild one when they announced it.
For those who missed it, Spotify basically went all in sponsoring Barcelona. Renamed the stadium Spotify Camp Nou.
It's on their jerseys. I mean, talk about thinking outside the box.
Right. Like that's next level marketing, not your average sponsorship.
They're going beyond just music fans, tapping into that global sports audience.
Associating themselves with a huge brand like Barcelona.
Exactly. It's about embedding themselves in culture, not just being a music app.
Smart.
Okay.
And it's not just Barcelona. They've been busy buying up companies left and right. Gimlet, Anchor, Findaway. That's just a few.
It's a long list, and I think it shows how serious they are about dominating audio. Each acquisition is strategic. Findaway, for example, they do audio books.
Oh, interesting.
So they're clearly making moves to be the go-to for that, too.
Building that audio empire.
Exactly.
So they're building this audio empire, but what about like the average user? Like me, I'm on Spotify all the time. What's changing for us?
Well, they're really pushing personalization, like using tech to make the listening experience better, smarter.
Yeah.
You've probably noticed it already, those personalized playlists, Discover Weekly, stuff like that.
Oh, Discover Weekly, that's my jam.
Mhm.
But I heard they're doing this AI DJ thing now.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. It's like having a DJ, but they know every song ever, and they're always on.
Always on, 24/7, just for me.
Basically. And it's not just playing songs, it actually talks, Like introduces the tracks, gives you some context.
Well, that's wild. Like having your own personal music experts.
Right. And it's not just that. They're constantly adding stuff. The report mentions they rolled out like AI playlist creation. You can have personalized playlists with 50 songs now. There's artist radio.
Oh, yeah, artist radio. I've been using that. It's great.
So they're constantly tinkering, trying to improve the experience, which is key if they want to hit that goal, 1 billion users by 2030.
Ambitious. Think they'll get there.
It's a tall order, for sure. They've got competition, music licensing as a whole thing, and who knows what audio will even look like in a few years.
Yeah, good point. But it's exciting, right? Seeing a company really pushing the boundaries.
Absolutely. Whether you're a casual listener or a diehard music nerd, there's something really interesting happening with Spotify.
Totally. So there you have it, folks. A deep dive into the world of Spotify. We covered a lot today. The numbers, the strategy, the future. What do you think? Where do you see Spotify going? Hit us up on social media. Let us know your thoughts. And until next time, happy listening.